Why, Dada? Why?
This is business.
This is my sweat.
I know, but I did business.
Shut up! Shut up!
This is business.
Hey!
If after watching this video, you are still prepared to spend money with Derrick Grace's various programs, be prepared for the following pricing. The 10K to 100K challenge 4-week Elite Series program will cost you about $200. The in-home banking board game will cost you about $200 as well. How I Went From Hoe to Husband will cost you about $400. The post-Trump pack will also cost you about $400. And of course, the Trucking Tribe course, which will cost you about $250. This is just some of Derrick Grace's various programs. He's clearly an expert in everything.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? This was no damn accident. This was no accident. This was no accident.
But of course, this is if you're even lucky enough to get your products delivered to you on time, or at all, for that matter.
You as an influencer, have a lot of power, and you're taking out of mouths people who already don't have. This is a fact, because the audience that you're getting are people who have hope because of the situations that they're in. And you're saying they don't need us, we need them, but you need us too, because you wouldn't be where you are without your followers. And that, as a leader, is something you should understand. The reason why I decided to go forward with getting my money back is because I can't respect someone who is going to make someone who already doesn't have it feel like $50 isn't a lot, when in fact it is to someone who doesn't have it. Someone who literally spent the $50 because they believed that your game would help them to create more. A game that they never got. But my thing is, when you have a following, when you have an influence on such a number of people, 500,000 people, and you're not using it correctly, and you're using it only for the benefit of you and your family, and you're not giving the people what you're saying that you're going to give them for the money that they use because they believe in your dream, but your dream is literally just a dream and nothing more, that's when I have an issue. So I did a little bit of research. I've been contacting him since, I bought the game in January. And then in January, after I got the game, I went on his website, and he's talking about, how people are so upset that they haven't received their game. He's like, y'all be patient. It's gonna come out in February. Then he said March. Then around March, he was like, oh, it's the Chinese New Year, and the vendor that I had producing the game, they not working right now, so y'all gonna have to wait until April. And it just the ball kept rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling, and guess what? Nothing happened. No tracking numbers, no nothing. Then this slick scam artist, I caught on to you. This slick scam artist goes on Instagram and knows that his followers are looking at his page, looking for the item, looking for when it's going to drop, looking for when it's going to release. And he gets on the phone and he's like, all right, y'all, I'm on the phone with PayPal. PayPal said that I can't move them. I can't get the money. I can't. So they're not going to release my $70,000 to me unless I could produce tracking numbers, but I can't produce tracking numbers without money. And if you guys bought the game, you watched that like I did. So then he leads us to believe that we ordered the game through PayPal. The scam is we didn't. It's funny because Mr. Derrick Grace, you say a lot of the time that your people, your group of people don't read. And it's funny because you kind of found one that does. You're a liar and you're a thief.
After my Terry Ijeoma video, where I received many wonderful comments regarding her trade and travel, stock market, make money online course, I am now of the mindset that you can buy as many, okay, just make it rain. You can buy as many make money online courses as you wish, if you're aware of the following. 1, the ingredients that led to their success, you are highly unlikely to duplicate.
It has not been easy for me. And, I started off in Brooklyn. My father gave me a small loan of $1 million. I came into Manhattan, and I had to pay him back, and I had to pay him back with interest.
Nate O'Brien, a YouTuber with well over 1 million subscribers, details how there was a gap in the personal finance content on YouTube at the time that he started his channel.
it for fun, whereas I feel like you always saw the potential of what this turns into.
Well, there was definitely a gap in the market. You know, when I went onto YouTube late 2016, a freshman in college, and I was looking for a way to make money. You know, I had like all my other businesses, I was doing lawn care, firewood, and everything, but I was looking for something that I could really, really work on, and it was just a gap in the market. You know, when you see there were a couple of finance channels at the time, but they were getting 20, 30,000 views with 1,000 subscribers, and there were a lot of people looking for it and no content on it. So it was a pretty clear opportunity, and I think right now we're seeing that shift, like not so much on YouTube, but actually on other platforms.
So if you were to come out with a YouTube course, right, one would hope that he'd be transparent and put a disclaimer in his marketing somewhere that unlike his students now, he didn't have to compete with the thousands of other personal finance content at the time. And this low competition and lack of saturation definitely quickened his growth and allowed him to establish authority. Another example of this is the lead attorney. You know, I like him, I like his personality, but I find it funny how he said this in an interview.
But again, he's Kevin Samuels, right? I'm talking about for the real people, the humble people, right? Not the superstars. You can be a humble person and easily, at least, make $75,000 a year. If you can't make $75,000 a year on YouTube after a year, you need some help, because there shouldn't be a year, maybe a year's a little bit too aggressive, but at least a year and a half, 2 years. You should not be on YouTube 2 years and you're not making 75 a year.
At least a year and a half, 2 years. You should not be on YouTube 2 years and you're not making 75 a year.
Today, I made what was it, like $500 in 3 hours?
He's recently come out with a live streaming YouTube course, but it is very important to note that his collab with O'Shea Duke Jackson was pivotal, very pivotal in catapulting his channel growth. He was even losing money up until that collaboration moment.
Number isn't as high as you might see from other people. There are a lot of people who make YouTube videos and they'll put out one a day. O'Shea Duke Jackson, he makes the videos and he puts like 5 videos out every day. So he's making a killing. And shout out to OJ, he really put me on his platform, and it really enhanced my visibility and really gave me a huge step up. He got me to where I am a lot faster than where I would have gotten alone. So big shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. But yeah, he puts out 5 videos a day, and I was putting out, in 2020, I put out 10 videos during the whole year. So don't fall into that trap. Now, I mentioned to you why I am losing money. And guys, do not run your YouTube channel like me. When I first started this thing, I bought everything I could, all of this equipment. I've got this computer here. I've got these monitors that you don't see. I've got this Sennheiser.
Now, I still gotta give him respect. He does allow people to shout themselves out on his channel when he brings them on to discuss various topics that he covers. But that is still drastically different than a one-on-one collaboration with someone who has a bigger channel than you multiple times. You get me? Pocket watching with JT is another example of unique ingredients that plays into one's success.
I am a financial advisor. I'm licensed both in tax and investments, financial planning in general. I am a certified financial planner, and I have clients all the time that would send me clips of different things online with some sort of financial expert, financial guru teaching people how to get rich, how to build wealth. And what I would find myself doing is watching these videos, watching these clips, breaking down these clips to my client and explaining to them why the person online had no idea what they were talking about, right? And at some point, it clicked to me to start a YouTube channel doing this because, one, I don't have to do it every time a client would send me that same clip, right? I only have to do it once, make the video, send them the video. And hopefully I can help other people who are outside my personal client list. You can also gain the benefit of this information. So that's how Pocket Watching with JT really started. Then April of 2021 is when my channel really started to pop off. The very first person that I have to thank with the growth of my channel is Mr. O'Shea Duke Jackson. All right, O'Shea Duke Jackson. That was the start of my channel actually growing. The brother saw my channel. I had made a comment on one of his lives. He saw the name of my channel, Pocket Watching with JT. He even said it on that live. He started laughing and he said he thought the name of my channel was interesting and he would check out my content. true to his word. He checked out my content, and not too long after that, we ended up being able to collab, and that collab really shot my channel up, because at that time I had just about 1,000 subs. So I got my first 1,000 subs and got my channel monetized around April 2021. So not even a year being monetized. And then my collabs with the lead attorney. Recently, me and Orlando did a collab with the lead attorney just the other day. Huge show. I think it's probably over 100,000 views by now. It was over 70 or 80 last time I checked. Being able to collab with the lead attorney, I have a lot of love and respect for his content. He, showed me love for my content, and we did some collabs that really pushed my channel over the top. And then obviously, I have been able to cover some pretty interesting and funny financial stories within the culture, which kind of got the eyeballs of some of you pocket watchers. Another person I want to give a shout out to is Spencer Cornelia. Spencer Cornelia, just a few months ago, I did a collab with him. That really gave my channel a nice boost. So everyone that really reached out did a collab with me, especially all the people who reached down, right? When you've got a much, much bigger platform, you've got hundreds of thousands of subscribers, to reach down and, collab with a YouTuber who has a much smaller platform is more risky for them than it is for me. It's all upside for me. When you're the little guy doing a collab with a big shot, there's nothing to lose. But for them, they were actually taking a risk introducing me to their audiences. And for that, honestly, I will forever be grateful. Even the Godfather himself, Mr. Kevin Samuels, on numerous occasions, he has mentioned my channel to his audience. Most recently that I can think of during his Thanksgiving night live, when he had like 24,000. Understand, you may not like Kevin Samuels personally or his content, but understand what he represents in the culture of Black YouTube, all right? Put your feelings off to the side just for a second if you don't like his content. He is a giant in Black YouTube, in YouTube period. I mean, to have over 1 million subs is huge.
Obviously, the lead attorney and pocket watching with JT still needed a level of charisma and consistency, upload consistency, to maintain an engaged audience. But that initial spike in exposure cannot be ignored whatsoever. You get me? Spencer Cornelia and CoffeeZilla are another example of creating content or having a business model under the right environment and circumstance.
When did you start to really make videos that you felt were starting to connect and that you found like, okay, this is the thing I'm good at. This is what I need to focus on?
It was a moment, December 2nd, 2019.
Okay.
I know it exactly. At the time, I was really struggling with these. I house flipped in Cincinnati, Ohio. 2 house flips that went to shit and lost basically all my money. And
I did see that video.
Yeah, dude, I was panicking. Like, I had no money. I was riding the bus. I didn't have anything. Like, I was having rice for dinner. Like, that's all I could afford.
Wow.
Dude, I couldn't even afford new shoes. Like, I had holes in my shoes, walking miles every day. And so I was in a tough spot mentally. And I wasn't there like creatively, but at the time I saw this guy, CoffeeZilla, in this video, Fake Guru Friday. I was like, what is this? So I started watching some of these. I was like, oh, this is interesting. You know when you feel like you're validated, like you had a thought, but someone validates it for you. And so I always had a thought that these business gurus were not who they say they were.
Right.
And then I watched his, I was like, oh, that's comforting that someone else shares this thought. How about I look into a lot of these guys? And let me just do an objective look. No agenda at all. Because at the time I had no subscribers.
Right.
And so I wanted to start with some of these business gurus. And the first one was Dan Lok, who was one of the biggest fake gurus.
Right.
And so the first episode was that, and I just made a video that I thought would be interesting. And the views right from the start were clearly different.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
clearly different.
interesting.
And then the second episode was Robert Kiyosaki.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah,
another
I've
big
seen
name.
that one too.
And there weren't really like intentions like, oh, I'm gonna use this to use people's names and get big or anything. I felt like there was a gap where all these people were going around teaching you how to be rich. I was like, I don't really feel it. I'm very fortunate that I come from a family that there was money. And so I've seen what real wealth looks like. And this wasn't it.
I haven't seen a video from you about this person, but I remember like a couple years ago, my girl got invited by somebody to go along to a Tony Robbins seminar. And I found myself like, I knew that I had a strong opinion against this, but I didn't really, have the knowledge necessarily. And I haven't even really like dug in enough to like really articulate why I'm not feeling it. But yeah, I mean, I think that shit is important because you see these people who are just sort of like glorifying themselves and making themselves out to be something. I think that like to have people who actually dig in and say like, oh, maybe these are the actual facts of what this person's life looks like. That's a very important role.
Yeah, and I just want to bring awareness, that's all. Because I think in the social media world, there's a lot of mental health issues. And this gets talked about ad nauseum, but there's a lot of people that get on social media and they might be struggling in life and they see all these people having success, all with the cars and the money and the flash.
I like when you do this because I see you doing that video as well.
I try to like bring it, because if I just talk like this, it'd be super boring.
Because I've seen your old videos where you're like reading from the fucking notepad.
And being one of the first in the niche of exposing entrepreneurs, fake gurus, and scammers within the make money online industry. Self-publishing with Dale highlights my sentiments exactly when discussing the realities of making money with ebooks on Kindle or audiobooks on Audible. Now, not to be too much of a Debbie Downer, but as far as learning how to make money self-publishing ebooks on Kindle or audiobooks on Audible, I'd recommend two things. Just two. The most credible and authentic person in this space or the niche of self-publishing seems to be a guy on YouTube called Self-Publishing with Dale.
Also, folks, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It is a pay-to-play world. If you've got the income and you've got the financial resources, then chances are very likely you can take advantage of Amazon advertising. And Amazon advertising is probably the most dead simple way and probably the most cost-effective way of promoting your books that you've published on Amazon. So you've probably heard some people over here on YouTube that have made some very bold claims about how much they make publishing on Amazon or how much you can make publishing on Amazon. And I'm just gonna say to you, buyer beware on this one. It's the illusion of the income report. There are some video content creators out there that will share and they will kind of flex and brag on you about how much they made and how if you learn just directly from them that you're going to profit hand and fist. But folks, I hate to say it, that results may vary. And here's the thing, usually an end game for income reports is they're ultimately trying to sell you on a product. And there's nothing wrong with trying to sell you on coaching services or courses, but they're trying to lure you in with the hope of maybe making $10,000 per month or $100,000 per month. And sometimes you gotta kind of wonder, are these income reports really real? What all is put into it? What is the effort, the audience, and the resources that they have that you can't get? The fact of the matter is, folks, most people will not make that type of income.
He came across as the most authentic and most realist when it comes to the reality of making money with books. So, shout out to Dale for being a real one.
Number one, it's not passive income. A lot of people will have you believe that
you're gonna make money when you sleep, when you publish these short books over here. All you gotta do is X, Y, and Z, and you're gonna become a millionaire overnight. Well,
got news for you. It doesn't work that way. Back prior to 2015, it was that simple. You could just take a dart, throw it at a board of ideas, land on it, publish it, make money, profit hand over fist, and everybody was happy. Rainbow, sunshine, butterflies, and unicorns in those days are gone because Amazon became very wary of a lot of bad actors, and so they closed that up.
And of course, I myself, I'm an example of this as well. It took me over 4 years for the income I was making on YouTube to even pay my monthly rent. There is no shortcut in this game. JT, who has a YouTube channel with over 50,000 subscribers, reached out to me. I can't teach you how to get on JT's channel, right? How can I teach that in my course? I can't. I was gonna talk about it, like even the idea, like even how I even got on JT's channel, right? You can't. There's some things you just can't like replicate, right? I've been subscribed to JT since when he was like less than 1,000 subscribers, something like that.
Yeah, man, you was a day one.
So like, and then all of a sudden, JT himself, how can JT teach you how to get on O'Shea Duke Jackson's YouTube channel? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then JT reached out to me. I didn't even ask JT to be on his channel. So like, there's some things you just can't like teach and replicate.
Great, that's such a great point. These scammers, they try to act as if they can show you how they made their money. Most of them cannot, because there was a lot of being in the right place at the right time. By the time that they're showing you how to do it, it's not like that anymore, right? When it comes to the people that are telling you that you could be a millionaire in drop shipping, those days are over. Right? You can't do it the same way that they did it, how they made money. The people that even tell you you can make millions and millions and millions of dollars in real estate in the particular way that they did it, you most likely can't do it the exact same way that they did it. Because if you could still make that much money doing it that way, they wouldn't be selling that blueprint to you. They normally sell the secret sauce at the point when it doesn't work anymore. That's when they sell the secret sauces. If you can still use it, what the hell? Why the hell would they be selling it to you and creating competition for themselves? Real businessmen do not create competition for.
The extent of your exposure or collab with him is more than likely just the call-in aspect of your show, wherein you might talk for like maybe 10-15 minutes. But having a whole hour video or a whole 30-minute video dedicated to you and him and the subject, highly unlikely. So, without luck, or having these same advantages, even a pandemic, just ask Amazon or certain pharma companies who were able to secure government contracts and have a monopoly over administering vaccines. It'd likely take you 2 to 5 years before your online business, whether in person or whatever, begins paying your monthly rent, for that matter, let alone making a profit. Yeah.
I tell you that I'm sorry, babe. Make it come and make it go today. I still love you, babe. One lie, baby, our love is a sweet game. If I lose you, I go die.